Kathy Brocksterman, we got some heavy, heavy paper on the line this week.
We have $1,000 to give away on Easter Sunday.
That would be nice to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, good enough. In case you don't know how the 14K Golden Ball contest works, tell you a little bit about it. Kathy's going to draw a studio contestant and a home player. Now, the studio contestant will have a chance to come down here, roll the golden ball, and this week it is sponsored by the World of Bowling. If he or she happens to roll a strike, the two contestants would split our $1,000 jackpot, and that has been going on for weeks now, and we got to give it away. First of all, who is our home player this week?
We have a Tom Hudy from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, he could be $500 richer with a strike. And who is our studio player?
A Don Bohnert.
Don Bohnert. Don, come on down here and let's win a grand. Lane 5, my friend. $1,000 big one. Gave it a good go. Nice round of applause. If you would like to be a part of our show, here's all you have to do. Send your name and address to the BPA Golden Ball Contest, 1821 Summit Road, Cincinnati, 45237.
Ah, there you're looking at Butch Heid. He's a fabulous manager out here, very gracious host. He had some goodies for us this morning, and we'd like to thank him.
Boy, did he. Nice cuts of cheeses, some lunch meat. Boy, it was something.
In fact, we're still munching on it. So
Why
if you hear
not?
any cracking going on in the background, it's us throwing a little bit down. Whoa. Look
Paul
at this ball, folks.
Massminster, 20 years old.
You alluded to it earlier, Jen, and for a young man, I'll tell you what, he's got as much on the ball as any right-hander that we've seen. Doesn't hook quite as much, but he's got so much more speed on the ball, just doesn't have time.
But he's got his hands full with this man, Ron Bohnert.
Yeah, you just saw Ron's dad in the golden ball. Going for that $1,000. It's going to carry over to $1,100 next week. Stay tuned for that.
2 frames, 2 strikes, and a Ford Taurus wagon sitting right outside in the parking lot. Compliments of Walt Sweeney's Western Hills Ford. And I don't know. We just might do it.
I want to thank Walt. We had to have a little paint work done on the car this week, let's say. We dropped it off over there. Did a great job.
And he fixed my limo for me,
Oh,
as
did
a
he?
matter of fact, yeah.
Boy,
Had
I'm
a little
sitting
problem
in
with that. He
I'm sitting in
straightened that
between
out.
some heavy hitters here talking about limos, and it's all foreign to me.
Yeah, but he didn't work on my car phone, you know.
Well, that's what my next question
I knew
was.
that
Did he
was
paint
coming.
that car phone?
That's right. Yeah.
Paint it red just like Batman.
I got Batman driving that thing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we just have a lot of fun showing up here every week. Ron Bohnert leaves a soft 7, we can say, on the left-hand lane. I don't think Paul can leave a soft anything at as many revolutions as he has on the ball. There you go. I don't know what he said, but he's talking to him out there today.
We have a pretty interesting thing coming up, the Ohio Sports Festival, and it's the state games. You know, each state competes, and it's endorsed by the United States Olympic Committee. And what you do is you go out and qualify, and in the Southwest region, I understand Coleraine Bowl will be representing that. And then you go up to the festival, and one of which bowling is an inaugural sport. And it's pretty exciting, so call your local BPA place and check in on that.
I guess the eligibility is anyone who's been a resident of the state of Ohio for 30 days. And
That just about covers them.
yeah, that about does it.
It helps promote our game, which is important. We want to keep it in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. And a couple of people supporting or promoting our game, shall we say. Terry Flynn from the Inquirer. I want to thank Terry and Joe Minster doing his job on the north side of town, giving us a little ink.
Uncle Joe,
while,
as
yeah.
I call him. I call him Uncle Joe from the Hamilton Journal.
That's right.
He's won many awards for covering the sport of bowling.
Both people down through the years have just done a marvelous job, and we want to thank both of them, as is Channel 5, entering our 6th year here on WLW, the sports station in Cincinnati. Paul's having a little trouble here after opening with such a shall we say, an authoritative type of strike.
Yeah, I would say that was correct.
I'd also like to mention that coming up on the women's shows, 2 of those, and then after that we'll see 2 youth shows. We will be giving away a rhino ball on each of those shows. So you can get in your entries for that. You can send it to the BPA office and take a chance on winning a rhino ball.
Pick up that rhino ball. Boy, that'd be awfully nice. You're trying to improve the game.
Certainly, I love that commercial for the rhino balls. We look at the score sheet. One where it tears a hole in the back of the place. I don't think too many proprietors would like to see that, but it really doesn't do that, folks. It just knocks down a few pins. Light mixer for Ron Bohnert, not quite giving the desired result of 10 down, but again, the players keeping the ball in play.
I think Ron's dad would like to have borrowed one of his son's strikes today in that golden ball contest.
He surely would have, huh?
So next week we'll be up to $1,100.
Ooh, big day. I think I'll resign to Mike next week and just see if I can get a ticket for a shot at it. Golden ball. The money's building, the interest is building, and we appreciate you tuning in.
And send in your cards, and for the home players who are not able to come out and actually join us each and every week.
Well, I tell you what, we're coming down the home stretch here for the men's shows. We've only got one more regular show to do, and then the men's finals, which is always very entertaining. And like you said, Jen, we've got 2 lady shows coming up and 2 juniors. And the level of competition in both of those areas is impressive.
Going to look for Jennifer Kleekamp in that competition. I'm telling you what.
I got a pretty good hunch she'll make it. I really do. Ron Bohnert makes a splash on the left-hand lane. Kind of strike we'd like to see people throw.
Paul is only 20 years old. This is his first time ever to make our telecast. He's been trying to qualify for 2 years from Dayton, Kentucky, the Blue Grass.
He bowls out at Bellwood Lanes. Bowls 4 times a week. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Speed. Well, I don't know. Our timing must be on the same biorhythms or something, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
The extra speed that Paul is throwing is not quite giving him the good roll, that heavy roll on the back end. And the only trouble is you try to take something off the ball as far as speed-wise, and 9 times out of 10 you take a little bit of roll off the ball too, so you wind up in the same area. But we'll see if he tries to slow this next shot up just a little bit. Paul, left-hand lane. Let's watch here. I just got a hunch he's throwing an Ebonite piece of equipment out there. Most of the players throwing the hammers, rhinos.
Oh!
Stone 7.
Well, this young guy really lets it fly. We said it already today, but he's not a real big guy. He's got some juice in that arm.
That's what's great about this sport. You don't have to be real big to throw a good ball.
It's like golf.
That's
if you
right.
watch the longest hitters on the golf
right.
tour, or if you just go out and play, and you'll see these guys 5'8", 5'9", weighing 145 pounds.
Corey Pavin.
Hitting it off the tee 300
Very
yards.
compact, yeah.
Exactly. Well, we're going to step out for just a second, and we'll be right back with you. We're halfway through.
Demand. I can get comfortable with it.
Where do you go for your bowling equipment? Head to Tri-State Bowling Supply, especially for bowling balls. Tri-State is the local headquarters for the full line of Columbia 300 bowling balls. If you need less weight, the light dot. Drier lanes, the white dot. The perfect all-round ball, the world-famous yellow dot. If you're ready for urethane, the Columbia U-Dot. Stop by to see the remarkable new Vector 1 and Vector 2 now available. Tri-State Bowling Supply. 27 years of sales and service. The Bowler's Pro Shop.
Today's bowling tip is brought to you by Walt Sweeney West Hills Ford.
Would you like to learn how to keep score? If so, get a piece of paper for notes, but if you can add to 30, you can do it. Now listen closely, because there's going to be a quiz at the end.
A strike is 10 plus the total of the next 2 shots. A strike in the first, there's 10. Plus the next shot, 7. Then you get 2 more. 10 plus 7 plus 2, 19 goes in the first frame. And since we opened, we add this 9 to 19, and that's how we get 28 in the second. A spare is 10 plus the next ball only. For this example, let's use a strike in the fourth. 28 plus the 10 for the spare is 38, plus the next shot, 10, is 48.
Now remember, a strike is 10 plus the next 2 deliveries. A spare is 10 plus the next delivery only. And if you open, add them up. Now here's the quiz I promised you.
Today's bowling tip has been brought to you by Walt Sweeney West Hills Ford.
Ron Bohnert and Paul Massminster. Not quite halfway through. I guess I should correct myself there. Got a lot of paper left to go in this one.
These guys are both throwing really great balls, and I think that this latter half of this game is going to prove to be a little better than the first half.
There you go.
All right.
How about that, Jen? How about that, Jen?
There you
Can
go.
I call him or what, you know? You're going to start sticking me with the factor again.
Sometimes or what, but that time you did call it. Threw it just a great shot there.
Just don't call me Dave.
Me neither. Hey, you will be fine. Had a great time last night at the ABC Hall of Fame induction ceremonies.
Absolutely.
Where Steve Fair and Roger Moorman went in. Tommy and I were there. We hoisted a few 14Ks. We won't tell you how many, but a few went down.
Police might not be thrilled about how many.
That's it. All right.
That's a double. That's a triple.
A triple for Ron Bohnert, and it's not 10 in the pit, but it's a mixing ball. And that's what Ron Bohnert can do so well. Watch this ball. It's going to deflect a little bit, hitting the 1-2, goes, jumps to the left, barely gets the 5. Yeah, but the action knocks it down.
Did you pick up Jen there, the double and the triple? She's trying to take my job on the Reds game.
no.
That's right. She's covering it all, Tommy.
Absolutely.
What a great shot. Paul, let's just watch the end of this shot. Paul gets a bad break on the scout here. Head pin goes to the right-hand side of your screen. There you see it, bouncing off the wall. Comes back, tries to take the 7 out, but not today. Shoot your spare.
Uh-oh. So that does not count.
That's right. Does not count, folks. Once the ball enters the channel, it is a no shot.
That's not a good time for that either, with Ron freewheeling on a 3-bagger. That just makes him even that much more loose.
That's frustration right there on Massminster's part. He just didn't take his time to set up that spare shot and fired it in the channel. And another tough break.
It's really not getting the type of pin action that the roll on his ball would indicate. And for everybody at home, I mean, we watched John Gann on the show several years ago, and his ball was extremely powerful and very, very hard. And if I have any recommendation to Paul whatsoever, I'd see if he could try to slow it down to it. But right there, that's a great speed. What he uses on his spares, and he does exactly opposite of what, let's say, some of the Pollard family would do. They stroke the ball on the first ball and throw it hard on the second. Paul might work a little bit on that. I think he'll net a few more strikes because of it.
Still young, 20 years old. And Dave can go down and chat with him maybe about that after the game today.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about Ron's bright green socks. I'll have you know he shot back-to-back 300s in those. So for anybody who's wondering why in the world is this guy wearing these ugly socks, he says he don't care. They're lucky for him.
Hey, he probably stands them up when he gets home, too.
Hops right into him.
Yeah, I was curious if he had washed him since he rolled.
I'm sure
I
he
know I
is.
wouldn't. If anything's
I
working
would.
that well, the heck with it. Let it fly.
Let him stand.
That's right. Ron Bohnert not getting the mixing ball either. But he leaves now he also strokes the ball very softly on his spares.
By the way, Michelle Brown, our fine tournament director, bought him those socks, so he can thank Michelle for that.
Collusion, if I've ever heard of it. 138 to 105, you're looking at it. The open by Paul in the 6th frame is really giving Ron Bohnert the rule of the roost, I guess we could say. Okay, I guess not. One of the young fans in the background. A little editorial there. Every ball not quite breaking off as sharply as it should. Let's see if we can pick up why here on the replay. Ron throws what seems to be a very, very good shot. Stays underneath the ball well, gets a good revolution on it, but okay, it makes the roll, but it really doesn't jump off that sharply. Deflects over behind the 7-pin area, and the ball should not finish there.
The thing that seems to stymie, well, look out, and there could be a key if Massminster could find that line and start ringing up some strikes here. But the thing I'm always amazed by, or curious maybe is a better word, is that some of these guys who throw the ball hard, as both of these guys do, and then you'll watch another game where they're getting that pin to fall, that 7, that 10 to fall, and then other games it just won't happen.
Well, Tommy, talk about a break, and as you pointed out, it could turn a match around in a hurry. An opponent misses, and then we're going to watch it here. The biggest break of the day so far goes to Paul. He goes right straight through the heart of the pins. The 1, 2, 3 pocket filled up, and every pin just kind of caves on in and goes out of there. But what you're alluding to, Tom, is the difference in what the oil pattern forms on the lanes. And the way the ball drags the oil down the lanes affects the way it rolls on the back ends. And look out, we've got a turnaround. Take a look at it here on the split screen. Paul knows this can get him right back in the match, and he just goes for all that it's worth. He's going to walk this one out. 1, 3, 1, 2, fill it. Yes!
And that double will cut Ron's lead to only 11 pins, with the all-important 9th and 10th frames coming up for him. Of course, Paul already has the 9th frame strike posted and 1 in the 8th to match it.
Carry 1, he said. Well, he carried 10 on that shot. That's, like you pointed out, the critical 9th frame, Jen. Take a look at it here. He throws one of his better shots of the match. When he needs it, stays down, really goes through this ball. Goes out to about the 3rd board. Carry it. Carry 1, he says. 1, 2 pocket.
Later.
Yeah, you're out of here, guy. Ron Bohnert could put this match on ice if he takes it out in the 10th frame. Anything other than strikes, and Mr. Paul Mansmister could jump up there and snap off game number 2.
Big shot for Bohnert. Oh, did he go wide?
Well, the big arc was the improper angle to carry the 7-pin, and we're going to see it here on the replay. The other shots that carried go out to about 3. This one goes out to the half board, folks. Right there. Look at it teetering it. Just makes its roll back, but the 4-pin, second one from the left-hand side, angle is incorrect, and the 7-pin remains.
Good point.
Ron Bohnert absolutely has to bring the spare back to keep his lead in the match.
Yeah.
He does it.
So this will be his final toss.
206 potential for Ron Bohnert, and at this point every pin is critical because his opponent is just 1 pin behind him in count. 11 pins in the match, and that could be cut with the first strike in the 10th frame.
So this is a big shot for Ron.
Exactly. Pin count is critical.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, Tommy, that's absolutely right. Situation is this: if Paul were to get this first strike in the 10th frame, 9 spare,
we will have a winner in Ron Bohnert, but if he gets a double, he will be our winner and move into match number 3 to face our current king, Dave Callery. He needs this one. He gets it. He gets it on just an absolutely must-strike situation. We see a great shot here. He maxes out. Don't want to leave anything on the table now because it's go-home time. 1-2 pocket filled up. 4-pin goes to the wall, slaps a 7-pin, and it is gone.
Now he has to have this next one also, because 206 is what Ron Bohnert has posted already.
There you can see the score sheet. Tells the story here, and he must have this one, and if he gets it, he can go against our king. What do you think?
Oh.
What a creditable showing for Paul.
Absolutely.
You used the term maxed out. Those last 2 shots, he had all he had in that frame of his behind that ball. Behind those balls, I should say.
That's right. No sense leaving anything on the table for later because there is no tomorrow.
Good match. Good match. Ron Bohnert the winner, and next up, 6-time king Dave Callery. Stay with us.
Demand. I can get comfortable with it.
Hi, I'm News 5's Jerry Springer, and I want to show you a good idea. Each year, the American Red Cross sponsors HealthWorks, a chance for people to get their health checked. HealthWorks will be set up at various places throughout the month of April. Most tests are free, but there is a charge for some tests. Call the HealthWorks hotline for more information. The Red Cross is going places with HealthWorks, and getting your health checked is a good idea.
We're going to change the way you think about hot dogs. How? With Partridge all-meat hot dogs, the best-tasting hot dogs in town. Packed with freshness. Packed with tender, juicy cuts of fresh meat. No fillers. Introducing Partridge hot dogs.
Hot dog, Partridge, everything great hot dog should be. Hot dog, it's Partridge, fresh meat, great taste, that's quality.
Now appearing in the Easy Open Twin Pack. If you haven't tried Partridge, you're missing the best-tasting hot dogs in town.
Ah, yes, the judge is back with us once again this week. Instead of his all-star game hat, he has on the local brewery, of course, Hudy Shaneling. And, you know, we wanted to get a shot of the judge for a lot of the folks at Perkins over in Mount Healthy who make a habit. Big following. He and Mrs. Judge head on out there, and all the little judges join him.
I'm going to judge the level of this conversation. We're gonna get out of here. We're going to go back to bowling right now. Ron Bohnert opens up game number 3 with a good break on the 6-pin. Carries it out a little late, but going against the guy of the hour, the month, whatever term you want to use, David Callery has been a force to be reckoned with when they're scoreable, when they're a little tougher. He keeps the ball in play, and David Callery is going to be trying to go for the 7th title.
Mr. Consistent.
This was week 7
yeah,
for him.
this would be a 7th week. If he wins this week, it'd be 7th week.
He's been on here so often. I thought he was part of the crew for a little bit and seeing him every week.
No kidding. He's been qualifying better than 20 times, or more than 20 times, actually. He's been on the TV show numerous amounts of times.
To set the game up the way he's going to be playing the lanes, on the right-hand lane, you see him using one ball that's designed to hook a little less than this particular ball, the blue ball, blue hammer on the left-hand lane.
Right on the nose, and got
got a break.
Gets
Wow.
a great break is right. Busts down the 4-10 split. And he threw that ball exceptionally slow, I think. We didn't have that one on slow-mo, did we? I mean, that was normal speed. Looked very, very slow, even for David Callery.
But that's one thing he does with precision. I mean, high precision. He's as good a spare shooter as we've seen over the last few weeks. Obviously, that he's been our king for 6 weeks tells you about that. But, I mean, when you look at all the other guys he's gone up against, even last week, he looked to be in trouble.
And all of
open
you
frames.
kids coming up, it's so important to make your spares. And when you're out there practicing, don't just rack off the spare. Shoot it. Oh, wow.
Oh, how about a misdirected scout, huh? We're going to send this one to a counselor. This guy should have taken out the 7. Runs in front. Let's take a look at it. The head pin, center your screen, is going to go to the right-hand side and decide to take the wrong angle off the wall. There you see it. Go to the wall, comes off. The spin takes it in front of the 7, considerably in front of the 7. He's got to shoot the spare, and he's missed a couple of these.
You talked about that arc last game. It's almost surprising, Dave, that he doesn't leave that 7 more often.
Well, he's got just a fantastic roll on the ball all the time. It's very clean and crisp, and he carries out a lot of pins where an ordinary competitor may not. But still, if he wants to beat David Callery, he's got to find an area that he can strike comfortably in and force David Callery to make some changes.
You all right, Jen? Guess not.
They're falling like flies here. Oh, no. What a terrible, terrible break. Ron Bohnert, left-hand lane. You take a look at it here on the split screen. You can watch his reaction, and you can watch the ball. The last 2 pins to be remaining will be the 6 and the 8. Second one from the right-hand side, and that back row. And look at the disbelief. Like, come on. Give me a break here.
He's got the hands out like, no, I don't want to throw this next ball already.
Well,
How difficult?
It's about a 3-in-1 shot for bowlers this caliber.
Not that way.
That's the idea, but you really have to take a lot less of the 6 pin and slide it into the other pin. I'd say 1 out of 3 times, maybe 1 out of 4 for the caliber of player that we have on the show, and maybe the folks at home 1 out of 7, 1 out of 6.
Well, that's our first open frame. Matter of fact, our first open frame in 2 games. So now Dave Callery has a golden opportunity to jump out to a lead.
The methodical game of David Callery includes some pretty sound footwork. You see it, a little heel-toe action up to the line, and crash.
That's why he's our king. Opportunities,
right.
takes advantage of it.
There you see it. Heel-toe, heel-toe. Just absolutely perfect. Stays down.
No, that's
Through the
a
shot.
different ball that we've seen. It's not the red or the blue. It's a black, looks like a hammer, maybe?
Yeah.
I talked to him a little bit about that last week after he had changed balls repeatedly, and Jen, you pointed that out. It was a red ball on the right lane, the blue ball on the left lane, occasionally the black. He just said, hey, I've got to adapt to whatever situation it may be. The 2 lanes were drastically different.
And I'd say he's figured him out.
Yep.
Look out, folks. If he's got this condition figured out, we could see some scores out of David Callery. He just kind of settles back into the groove. Going to get himself a little drink here and relax. And Ron Bohnert, the pressure is on you, sir.
Even though it's early.
Well, you're right. You got a 6-time king throwing a double at you after he was noticeably uncomfortable. You better get started. Get started, he does.
I was just going to say, you're talking to a guy, though, that just came off a 238 game, so who knows?
That open frame could prove deadly down the road.
On a ball that wasn't very bad at all the time.
That's right.
Just a real bad break. Coming down the home stretch, I'd like to thank everybody for sending in the helping hints for the new tips that we're going to be doing. You'll start seeing those next week. A lot of you ask a lot of the same questions, and we're going to be drawing that bike out and giving it away on the final show. Men's finals, that is.
Right through the nose of it. And while we have a chance, I'd like to, of course, pass along a happy Easter to each of you and your families today. Hope you're enjoying your Easter Sunday.
I know we will. Going to be going over to the folks' house and getting a little free grub, turkeys, and going to pop the top on a few 14Ks. Just settle back and relax a little bit. Ron Bohnert, left-hand lane, covers the spare easily.
Well, it looks like 23-pin lead for Dave Callery. Actually, with another strike-up advantage, maybe make it a little bit more. He can definitely take command here with another strike.
Maybe those socks will wind up in the washer tonight.
That's right.
Huh?
Or in the fireplace.
Too much of a good thing. David Callery with the, it's not a hammer, it's a tracker. All designed to go further down the lane before hooks.
And he looks like, I'm sorry, he looks like he falls off balance quite a bit at the end.
Well, that's part of David's game. Well, let's watch it here, Tommy, see if we can pick it up. But watch as the ball comes off his hand how steady he is. Now, he's perfectly steady. Now he falls off the shot. After it's gone, you can stand on your head if you want to, but as it's coming off your fingertips, that's the key. That's the mixing ball, the tracker it's called. And it's designed to stay wide a little longer, and that's a good choice. But Tommy, a lot of people see that, and when you're looking at your own game, if you use a home video camera or something, don't look at what happens after the ball's out of your hand, because it's immaterial. It's at that split second where the ball is coming off his fingertips that really matters. And David Callery, our 6-time king, is on his way. Take a look at it here. The blue ball, left lane, black ball, right lane. He's got it figured out. This is bowling the way you really want. Oh, look at that shot. Stays down, goes through the ball with authority, and he's pumped up. Filled up, 10 pins in the pit. Every pin doing its job. David Callery, our king, is showing us why he's earned that title.
10 up, 10 down for Ron Bohnert. Trying to bite his way back into this. But Callery, 4 straight strikes. Meaning business.
43 pins in the 5th frame. Not insurmountable, but very, very difficult to overcome.
Mercy.
You're right. 43 pins with 4 frames left. Yeah, it's going to be tough. But Tommy, we've seen a couple of major comebacks, especially last year and a half that we've been working together, and I want to say thank you. It's coming to an end of our 2nd year together. It's been a lot of fun.
That it has.
A lot of fun.
Jen joined up on our team last year, and it's really been nice working with you as well, Jen.
Thank you. Likewise.
It's a good crew, and we want to thank everybody else for tuning in. Ron Bohnert just pays a maximum penalty for a very, very good shot, left-hand lane to crash 7, and he's left a few of these. And that's why David Callery has the 43-pin lead. There you can see him. Boy, he's excited about this.
Yeah.
A little work left to do. That's why he's not excited yet.
Once again, thank you to Walt Sweeney for bringing us a Taurus wagon. Fine car sitting out in the parking lot. We won't give it away this week, but we'll see Walt next week, and then we'll be on to the finals in a few weeks.
Walt's a great guy. For those of you who've never had a chance to meet him, a lot of fun to be around.
He is. He's a piece of work. I really enjoy that man. I tell you, did a good job on my car. He said he'd offer me a great deal if we bring some old equipment in. He'll see if we can work out a deal for us.
Yeah, and that's to the king of deals. You.
Well, we just try to have a little fun with it.
Right there, Callery's got to be just saying, don't give me the split.
That's right.
That's what he said. I'll take this spare shot, but don't leave me that split.
Exactly right, Tommy. All he wants to do is fill frames from here on out, and he's a winner once again. He would have to open a couple of frames here to let Ron Bohnert back in this match, and it's not out of the question, but you let him make a couple of easy spares, and he's going to ring up another big check here unless he opens up big time.
7 weeks in a row. That is getting it done. We're looking at a man of consistency. David is 38 years old, an assistant controller at Cincinnati Time, and he's been on time to collect $750 for 7 straight weeks.
And you can be sure his wife Pam's real happy about that.
No.
If she's getting part on that.
No, there we go again. And David Callery once again goes on for our kingship, $750, but Ron Bohnert, not wishing to roll over, throws strikes in the 8th, 9th, and all the way through the 10th. 217 to Dave Callery's 257. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.